Yeah, I may not like me for this one, but I'm gonna say it anyway. My mama always told me don't date nobody that's not from somewhere. Like their nationality, ethnicity. If he is not African, Jamaican, like comes from some type of background, don't date him. Hence, black men, African American men, people, when they say they're not from nowhere, dodge it. Growing up with a culture background makes a very big difference in how a man will treat you, in my opinion. Now, I'm not saying they're just 100% better and they're going to treat you the best because, we all have our experiences. But 9 times out of 10, their mom taught them how to properly respect a woman.
So it's obvious that she's not into black American guys, but she still date black guys. So she specifically like black guys from other places like Africa, the Caribbean. Because she's saying the stuff that her mother told her about. If someone don't have a culture, they don't know where they're from, this and that. But I believe that it's more about individual. I don't think race or culture means they're going to treat you better. Because there's bad people in every race and every culture. I think it's more about individual. So just because someone is a particular race or has a particular culture, that don't necessarily mean that they're better. I believe it's about the character, the personality. Whether or not you chose a good person from this race or this culture.
9 times out of 10, a man with culture understands how to open a door, be respectful. My experience dating a black man has never been good. Like, just a man that's not from somewhere, it's never been good. They too disrespectful. They curse you out, call you all types of names. You're all the B words in the world. You're this, you're that. They don't have no respect. And the reason is because they don't have respect for their mother. I know y'all don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. I love my black men. I literally really only date black men. I love them. But I want a man from somewhere. I want a man from Africa, Jamaica, the Caribbean, somewhere. If a man ain't ever been cursed out by his mom in another language, I don't want him. Being cursed out in another language hit different. Like, he got a little bit more respect. He gonna watch his mouth before he talk to you. Now, I'm not saying all of them, but the ones I've experienced, yeah, they watch their mouth before they say something. Just like African men have the reputation of spoiling their women, courting their women, that's why women are loving them a little bit more now, because they have that reputation. They grew up with their fathers, their mothers are being courted. Their fathers are spoiling the hell out their moms. Like, they grew up seeing that. They grew up realizing they had no choice but to do that. You understand? Like, I like those type of men. Like, your mom told you literally have no choice but to court that woman in order to get her. Yeah, that's my type.
I just came across this video of this woman talking about a lady she met back in August of 2024 who originally lived in DC but then moved to Dallas for better prospects in dating, and now January 2025 she's engaged. Now, a handful of the comments are like, why would someone ever move just for the sake of dating? I am not saying do that. However, I am a firm believer that certain cities are better if you're trying to be in a serious relationship. Hi everyone, my name is Brianna. I'm originally from Atlanta. I lived in Chicago for 10 years and I'm currently in Philly getting my master's. Now, I was having this discussion with a couple of classmates of mine who are actually older than me. They're like 30, about some of the reasons why I'm moving to Atlanta after school. Part of it is to be closer to family, save money once I graduate. My job is here. I can easily transfer offices. I haven't lived in Atlanta as an adult, so I want to explore that. Another reality is, like, I'm ready to be an adult and, like, settle my life a tad bit. I want to buy a house, townhouse, condo. I don't know. I need to do some research. But I'm also trying to find my husband. And the reality is, a lot of the cities I've lived in, I have come across that majority of the men in my age range are not relationship oriented compared to the way that some of my friends and other men that I know down south in particular are. In Chicago, a lot of the men were either like born and raised in Chicago, have never left Chicago. And to me, that just comes with a certain like stuck mentality that doesn't match my vibe and my energy. And then you also have a lot of people who are kind of like in between stages, in between careers, checking out Chicago for a couple of years and then leaving, which that's also not going to work. And being in Philly, I'm only here for grad school. I'm not, finna find a man in Philly. Honestly, Philly is worse than Chicago because there's like few job prospects. And then I have hella friends who live in like New York, DC, and you just have a certain like young demographic where people have a lot of money. People are like, just out partying, having fun. They are not like thinking about family. And then on the flip, I think this actually comes with like just Southern values in general. Family is so important that it's one of the like top 5 things on anyone's mind regardless of your gender. So yes, I do think that I have a better chance of finding my husband being down here where people are actually like trying to be husbands than living in a city where people are just thinking about making more money, advancing their careers, having fun with friends, and like that's the only thing that they're thinking about.
She's going to explain what happened on her date. She was on a date with a guy, right? They went out to eat and stuff like that. And then he stopped and went outside to talk to his baby mama. So he left her in the restaurant alone until he was done. Now my thing is that after he done that, she continued to deal with him. So you're going to see the clip, with them hugging, after he finished talking or whatever. But that guy's lucky because someone else would have ended the date right away. They wouldn't be going for it because that's kind of disrespectful. Because if your baby mama is not calling or texting you about something important or something about your kids or your child, then he could have waited to speak to her. He could have waited till when he was finished with his date. However, you still got some people that put their baby mama before their new girl, as if they're still sleeping together. Because that's what some people would think. If she's that important, you're going to mess up this date, then obviously you're still sleeping together. And if that's the case, or you like her more than you like me, then why did you leave her? Go back to her. That's disrespectful. That's how some people would have took it. Because from that point on, he's showing you his baby mama is going to come first throughout that whole relationship. You're going to have problems with him.
I think this man just left the date. He gets up and leaves. This has never happened to me. This entire date was super chaotic. Originally we were supposed to go downtown, but it started raining, so I said, you know what, let's just go to a local restaurant because I don't want to drive in the rain. I'm driving to the restaurant and boom, he hits me with a I'm running late text. So I am about to go on a date, but I haven't been on a Hinge date in so long. I'm scared. My heart is pounding. Oh my god. Oh, that car was so ugly. I was praying. Instead of sitting in my car like an idiot, I decided to go in and sit at the bar and have me a little drinky drink. It felt like forever because he took so long to get there. But once he was there, we was having great conversation until he left me. He left me to go have a conversation with his baby mama. And I was just like, what? Turns out he did not leave the date. He actually did come back, y'all. And he had me smiling all night. And he had great energy. So I definitely will go out with him.
As a dark-skinned woman who grew up around colorism, I honestly can say I love when I see other dark-skinned women being genuinely loved on by a man, and at the single ones too, but we're talking about love right now. And the reason I love seeing dark-skinned women being loved on and in a happy relationship is because a lot of times other skin tone relationships are pushed to the forefront and you don't really see a lot of black women being loved on. So when I do see a black woman being loved on, it just gives me reassurance that somebody out here likes me. You feel me? Like somebody out here loves my skin tone. Somebody out here would date me. Somebody out here would marry me. Somebody out here, because a lot of times when you're a dark-skinned woman and you're growing up and people would choose other races over you, you kind of get a little bit insecure and you start feeling like, will I find love? Everybody likes this certain type of skin tone. Everybody likes this. Everybody likes that. And you start to kind of feel shitty a little bit. But when you see other dark-skinned women being loved on, it just gives you that reassurance that it's people out here that do love dark-skinned women. It's people out here that will marry a dark-skinned woman. It's people out here, because a lot of times people ew, I would never marry a dark-skinned woman. I seen a post one time that was imagine waking up to a dark-skinned woman, ew. And I was just damn, what the fuck we do? But I love when I see my dark-skinned women being loved on for real.